Welcome to my math and chemistry channel on YouTube. I'm Stefan Bredén. I am a retired math and chemistry teacher, and I want to discuss how to solve quadratic equations with conjugate and zero product rules. And we have an example here, that is x squared equals 4. It is very easy to see that the result is plus square root of 4 and negative square root of 4. But how come is that you have two answers? This has to do with the conjugate rule. So we rewrite this. You collect all the terms in the left side of the equation. So the right side is always 0. And then we can use our generic rectangle. So we write a rectangle. You divide that one into 4 minor rectangles, so-called sub-rectangles. And we're going to choose a diagonal here, this diagonal, that goes from upper left to lower right. And this is called the square diagonal. So we put x2 there, and we write 4 as a square, so you have minus square root of 4 times square root of 4 here. And then we know that this side is x, and this goes as well to be x, and this one goes to this side, minus square root of 4, and this one goes down there, so you have square root of 4, and this side is x, and this side is square root of 4. So you have here a plus square root of 4 times x minus square root of 4 equals 0. And you have the 0. You have the zero product. Zero product. Equation 1. X plus square root of 4 equals 0. Equation 2. X minus square root of 4 equals 0. So you have this is x1 minus square root of 4, and then you have x2 square root of 4. this is also minus 2 and 2. So answer. 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 X1 minus 2, x2 plus 2. And that is the answer. The next example is a more delicate equation. It's an exquisite equation. It is very beautiful, and that goes x squared equals -1. How do you solve that? You know from school that there is no real solutions to it. But how can you solve it? There is two answers. There is a quadratic equation, so there got to be two answers. But why don't we see them? To solve the problem here is we do exactly the same as earlier. We collect every term to the left side of the equation and the right side equals 0. So now you see that the conjugate rule doesn't work on this expression because there is +1 here. It should be -1. Then you can use the conjugate rule. But, so what are we going to do? Well, we can rewrite it as x squared minus -1, like this. That's equal to x squared plus 1. We have a minus here, so now you're on the right track. So we have to, if we had a positive square here, then we could use the conjugate rule. It reminds me of my idol from the 60s and 70s, John Lennon. He wrote a song called Imagine. Imagine there's a number when squared is -1. It's very beautiful. So we put an imaginary number, we call it I in imaginary. I, you square it, and that is equal to -1. This is the catch. So you substitute here -1 with I squared. So you have x minus I squared equals 0. And now you can use the rectangle once again. We use our rectangle. We divide it into 4 sub-rectangles, and we're going to use the diagonal, the square diagonal here, and put x squared there, and you write minus I times I. That is minus I squared. So this side here is x, and this is x. This side here is one of these factors, so it is I. So this is I. The I goes there, and this side here must be this one then. So the minus I goes here. So you have minus I there. So you have here a product, x plus I times x minus I equals 0. And here you have the 0 product. So equation 1, x plus I equals 0. That means that x1 is minus I, and you have equation 2, x minus I equals 0, x2 equals I. And that is the answer. That was all.